This edition of MacVoices TV is brought to you by Smile, the makers of Text Expander Touch, PDF Pen Pro, and Disc Label. Find out more and download demo versions at smilesoftware.com. Welcome to MacVoices TV. This is the Talk to the Mac community. I'm Chuck Joyner, and I'm at BlogWorld in Los Angeles. But all that means, for the sake of this interview, is that I get to talk to Don McAllister in person instead of across Skype. Don, it's great to see you.
That's right, great to see you as well, Chuck, yeah.
Quite a hop across the pond for you.
It is. I'm starting to get used to it now, though, because I tend to do this conference and also Macworld as well. So it's, yeah, it's okay. It's a bit of a stretch, though. It's about an 11-hour flight. So by this time of the conference, I'm starting to either sort of get used to the time difference or to really feel it. But I'm starting to get used to it now, I think so.
You jet setter, you.
Yeah, well, it's got to be done. It's got to be done.
We never get to talk enough, Don, but I was anxious to have you on and talk about your latest effort. Everyone knows you for screencasts online,
yes.
But now you have a new app, SCOtutor for Lion.
That's the one. Yeah. I decided a couple of weeks ago that, I have the membership system, so that all the screencast online tutorials, there are free ones on the site, but the main content really goes out via the membership system, so it's only really for sort of bona fide members. But I do get requests from people to sort of let them have access to individual episodes, and I've always sort of shied away from that because of the complications of trying to set that up, but also, I didn't really want to cannibalize the membership stats. That's really the main thing that I do. But I thought, no, probably the time is right now to have a look at other ways of distributing the content. And I noticed there were already a couple of standalone tutorials on the Mac App Store, and I thought, well, really I should be in that space as well. So I got in touch with a friend of mine who's a developer, and together we've developed this standalone application called SCOtutor. And the first one is a 2.5-hour video of basically all the Lion tutorials that I've put out over the past few months with the introduction of Lion, compressed into a single episode. I say it lasts for about 2 hours, 20 minutes. And we've encapsulated it into an app, which is a bespoke video player. So now people can go along to the Mac App Store, search for SCOtutor for Lion, or just for Lion, and buy that one single episode, download it to the Mac, and watch it in this bespoke video player, which has some special whistles and bells on it.
Oh, I got to ask about the special whistles and bells, because it sounds like from what you said that this is primarily just a repackaging of what you've already released on SCO?
That's right, it is, yeah. Because, with Lion being so new, a lot of people are really interested in Lion and looking at some of the new features of Lion. So what I've done is to create this application that enables you, in the normal shows we have chapters anyway, so you can easily navigate to all the different chapters. And I've carried that through to the application. So there are about 60 chapters. So what happens is when you download the app and play it, you can pop up a chapter list, and you can navigate to any of the 60 chapters by the click of a mouse or using the keyboard, and it'll take you straight there. It's HD video as well, so it's full HD. You can go into full screen mode and see it as if it's your own desktop. But one other little twist as well is that it also has subtitles in. Now, I've started putting normal subtitles in my weekly shows, mainly for sort of non-English speaking, for hard of hearing people. And it does help out. You can actually follow along with what I'm saying by reading the subtitles. But I did think with Apple sort of making lots of noises about them expanding into different territories that it might be a good idea to include multilingual subtitles. So for this particular episode, I've gone ahead and commissioned the translation of the English subtitles into 4 different other languages. So there's Brazilian Portuguese, there's simplified Chinese, Spanish and French. And they're all included within the app as well. And again, you tap on a button and you can access any of those subtitles, and they'll automatically change and be displayed on screen. But also as well, because we couldn't just stop there, what we decided to do is to make the chapter list multilingual as well. So if you select the Chinese subtitles, when you pop open the chapter list, they appear in Chinese, and same with all the other languages as well. And the app is localized as well, so all the menus and the help system is localized into those different languages as well. So it's a big experiment, really. I don't know I didn't know how well it was going to be received, but it's only been out for about a week and a half, and already, again, based on the great following that I have with Screencasts Online, I think I'm already up to about 70 or 80, about 79 5-star reviews and 1 4-star review, which can't be bad. So that's good.
We will find you, Mr. 4-star review, and have a talk about that. No, Don, that's a really interesting idea as a way to sort of bridge the gap between subscriptions and a general interest broad topic like Lion.
Yeah, again, my main primary focus is always going to be the weekly members shows, because they're very contemporary, they're always up to date. I'm able to react very quickly to new things that come out and put the membership out. And that's my primary focus. But this really is just a way of, there are always going to be people who don't want to take out a full membership. And for important topics such as line, and I'll probably bring out a few more titles in the near future, it just seems a good way to bring other people into the fold. And also it might actually spread the word and gain more members as well by people seeing the standalone app and saying, well, this is interesting, I might want to get a new episode each week.
Well, I can think of a few people that I know have converted over to Line or will be, that frankly they may not be a market for your regular subscription, but I would tell them to buy this in a second and get completely up to speed on Lion.
Yeah, one of the things I wanted to do as well is to, and I haven't done one for about 3 years now, is a complete new series about being new to the Mac. Because obviously with, I think it was pre-Snow Leopard when I actually did my last series of shows specifically for people who'd never seen a Mac before. So now I've got the app, what I think I'll do is do another sort of fairly lengthy show, but starting from scratch. So explaining all about the dock and explaining about the menu bar and really taking things down to first principles, and then roll that into the app and publish that on the App Store as well. But that's probably going to take another 4 or 5 weeks to actually get that off the ground. But that's probably going to be the next thing that I'll release. And there's also an iOS version coming out as well. So SCOtutor for Lion will be available in iOS hopefully in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Fingers crossed, but that's just being ported over now to iOS.
While you're not jetting around the globe.
Yeah, well, the poor guy back in the UK is slaving away on the application.
Don, I'm curious. You said that this is 2.5 hours worth of videos. What kind of size does this come down at?
Well, it's interesting because, again, I've never really had a problem with size because it's a screencast. I can compress it down significantly. So even though it's high definition, it's 1280 by 720, and it's 2.5 hours, it actually compresses down to about 300 meg. Which is, for 2.5 hours worth of content is quite small. And that includes all the subtitles and chapter lists and everything. So yeah, it's about 330 meg downloaded. The nice thing is as well is that whenever I do updates, we've just released 1.1, which included the French subtitles. So I can roll out additional subtitles as well, and it will just be a delta. You'll just get the subtitle track downloaded individually. There are some bug fixes as well. We had a problem with full screen mode that's fixed now. In fact, that was the reason for my 4-star rating. We had a little bug in full screen mode only on some Macs, not every Mac. That's why we slipped through. But we fixed that now. So if I can track him down, I'll see if I can get him to edit it to a 5-star. Yeah.
He just saved your life. Okay, that's good. That's good. The obvious question for an app like this with all that quality, all that content, how much?
Well, I've put it on as like an introductory price, which by the time this goes out will probably still be in place. It's £2.49 in Great British pounds, which I think equates to about $3.99 in US dollars. So again, I've priced it sort of aggressively to get as many people interested and sort of get it out there really, so people know that it's available. So yeah, that's probably going to be in place. I probably won't put it up by much, to be honest, but I want to keep it fairly low cost, so more people will actually buy the product. The interesting thing is as well, though, is how to get into the other markets, because the App Store has, I think it's about 118 different app stores, and you can publish it to all the app stores, which I have done. But in the countries where we have the language support, I've actually put the App Store pages in those languages as well. So if you go to the French App Store, you'll actually see the product description in French, and I'm hoping that will sort of boost it up. I need to find ways of actually getting into the remote territories and publicizing it and sort of making people aware really that it exists, and we have this extra language support in there. So that's going to be quite interesting to see how that goes. It's still early days, it's still early days really.
This takes us in a new direction. You're now an app developer, published through the App Store. How's the experience been?
It's eye-opening. Yeah, no, it's been really fascinating to see how it goes, and my admiration for the development community just skyrocketed when I saw just how complex it was to put through. But it's been fascinating. Yeah, I mean, I've already subscribed to the developer package, and I've been to a couple of WWDCs, but never really developed an app properly. And of course, I mean, Simon, who's the guy, a guy called Simon Wolf from Otter Software, he's the guy who's doing all the coding, but I sort of chip in with some ideas, and we bounce things off each other. But it's been fascinating. So I've had to sort of get Xcode, download Xcode. We're on GitHub, so that's the source repository. So Simon makes changes to the application. I download it to my machine, run it in Xcode, and feed it back. And no, it's been really interesting to see how it all works. But great admiration. The review process as well is scary. So I've been through that because we did actually get the app rejected in the first instance because of the title. We had to change the title slightly because it included line in the title. They weren't too happy about that. But there are certain rules You can't say, you can't say, well, you have to say for Lion. You can't just include Lion as a separate thing. So anyway, that's sorted. But it was a bit scary after all the work that we put in to have it rejected. No.
Yeah, you and Simon both went out drinking that night, and
no, he was quite blasé about it. He said, "Oh yeah, you're bound to get a couple of rejections till you finally get it through." But now that it's been accepted, the last change went through with no issue, so that's fine. And the way it's designed as well, I should be able to reuse it, so that when I come to do the new to Mac one, I'll just take the code, drop the new content in, rejig it, press a button, and then republish it to the App Store. So it's sort of like a cookie cutter type application, so I can drop further content in and generate new apps from it. I mean, eventually the end game would be really to go to a model whereby you could do in-app purchases. But just for speed, I really wanted to get something out there quickly, so we've gone for the sort of standalone independent application for now.
well, like everything any of us do, you have a lot of ideas, but you need to start somewhere and then work your way up.
Yeah, and again, we thought this would be like a 1 or 2 week project because we were just going to do a very basic video player, and then the subtitling came in, and then the chapter thing came in. So it actually ended up being a 5 or 6 week project. So it's still not been as quick as I hoped it would be. But it's out there now, and people can take a look at it and download. And the main thing is reviews. The more reviews, the better, really, because that elevates its position within the App Store. But no, it's really exciting. I'm really looking forward to how this progresses. Again, not taking any of the focus away from the weekly show, which is always still a primary focus. Yeah.
And that leads me to saying, where do they find you? Where do they go to learn more and become a subscriber?
Well, for subscription, if you go to screencastonline.com, that will take you to the main page of the website. If you want to find out about membership, you can go to screencastonline.com/extra. That will take you straight to the information page. If you want to learn more about the app, you can search for it in the App Store. Just search for SCOtutor. Or there's a separate page on the website, screencastonline.com/MAS for Mac App Store. And that will take you to like a little introductory video and links to the App Store as well. So.
And your blog?
The MacScreencastGuy.com. I need to do a few more blog posts. It's sort of taken a bit of a backseat in the past few weeks, as you can understand. But
for good reason.
Yeah. The MacScreencastGuy.com is where you'll find my blog. And on Twitter is Don McAllister.
Well, congratulations. I really like the idea of a bridge, because I know you and I have talked about the individual episode access. Yes, yeah. And so I really like this as an alternative, because it means that you are retaining the value of what you've already done, but you're expanding it and offering it another way.
Yeah, it'll just be really interesting to see how it goes, and it's a long-term thing as well. It's going to be and it's going to be current while Lion is still out. So it's only been out for a week and a half, 2 weeks. It'll be interesting to see what the what the take-up is in the next 2 months, in the next 6 months, the next 12 months. I don't know. So it'll be fascinating.
Well, congratulations. Good to see you.
Thank you very much.
Folks, I'll have links in the show notes so you can get to Screencast Online, SCO for Lion.
SCOtutor for Lion.
SCOtutor for Lion. See, I don't want to get in trouble with the Mac App Store, folks. I'm Chuck Joyner. This is MacVoices TV at BlogWorld in Los Angeles. We'll be back with more soon. Thanks for watching. MacVoices TV is part of the MacVoices group and a member of Mac Level 10.